Hey, you guy, girls, crew. Today I want to talk to you about a health topic. Believe it or not, I want to talk about our digestive systems and making good decisions anytime you are considering surgery in respect to your body. So, this goes way back, maybe about 12 years ago, and I was having some issues and I had to have abdominal surgery. Now, I like to get all of my facts and information together, so I did my research and due diligence. I talked to my doctor about the pros and the cons, and I decided to have the surgery. The problem was right after the surgery, I realized that my right abdomen area was very extended and swollen, and I thought that was kind of odd. Well, I went through my recovery period, and after a month, I still had this chronic ache. After 6 months, I still had this chronic ache. And then after a year, I had a chronic ache because I had heard that, after major surgery, you should give yourself a year to heal. Well, because I still had the ache, I said, you know what, I think it's time for me to see a doctor about this. So I went to my doctor, told her what was going on, and the main problem I was having was whenever my intestines were full, the ache would get worse. I mean, I was living with pain every day. It was low level, but still it was pain every day, and it was affecting what I could eat. So the doctor, she did a barium enema to make sure that my colon was fine, and she checked my ovary. She wanted to make sure on that side that I didn't have a cyst on my ovary or anything like that. So the test came back negative, and that's when she told me, she was like, you know what, I think it's scar tissue. She said it could be that the scar tissue is pulling your colon out of place in a certain area. It could be wrapping around your section of your colon, causing this pain. But she didn't want to do anything about it at the time because it's known that if you go in and clip scar tissue, it could come back worse. So she didn't feel comfortable doing surgery. Long story short, I lived with this pain for about 10 years. And it got to the point where it was affecting my quality of living. It got worse. It just got worse. I could eat little and even less as the time progressed. It got to the point after 10 years that I had to resort to eating fish because it was a soft meat, and I had to resort to eating all of my vegetables cooked. And that was it. That was my diet. And so at that point, I did my research and found out that the best thing for me to do would be to have the laparoscopy surgery, to try to go in, find out where the scar tissue is compromising the functioning of my colon. But the main thing I want to share with you is, yes, I did my research ahead of time. Yes, I did my due diligence and I talked to my doctor. But a main fact, I missed the main fact. When I did my research, it did not say that any kind of abdominal surgery can cause scar tissue. The worst place to have surgery is in your abdomen, because if you develop scar tissue like I did, then it could really interrupt the functioning of your colon. And in some cases, it can be life-threatening. If that scar tissue strangles a part of your colon and cuts off the passageway, then you can get a bowel blockage. It's been known that a lot of people who have had abdominal surgeries, they have bowel blockage issues, and as you know, that can be fatal. So the lesson here to be learned is always do your research. Extensive research. I would even go as far as to say, do a month of research. Look at all aspects of the situation, and make sure you key in complications of whatever surgery you're going to have. And that's what I didn't do. I didn't key in complications of this particular surgery because I just keyed in the name of the surgery. And so if you're going to have a surgery, key in complications of that surgery. Make sure to do that, and make sure you find some blogs or some chat rooms where people have the same problem and they can share their experiences, because I think that's where I learned more about the complications that I was experiencing, and that was just by reading message boards of people who had the same issue that I had. So again, do your research, and especially if you are thinking about having abdominal surgery, think twice. For me, if I had it to do over again, I would not have had the abdominal surgery unless it was a life or death situation, because the scar tissue has really affected my quality of living. I did get the surgery. The doctor, 10 years later, I got the laparoscopy surgery. The doctor clipped the scar tissue. She really confirmed that it was pulling my colon out of place, and so I was a whole lot better after the surgery. But research indicates that with the abdominal scar tissue, even if you have the surgery where they go in and clip the adhesions or the scar tissue, it's been known to come back. So I'm just going to keep you updated on this topic. Love you so much. Just make sure you do your research.